Hello, everyone. This is Steve Williams with Elite Advertising Agency. Also, you might know us with Blue Book Milwaukee and Blue Book Dallas, weekly advertising printed publication. But for our Elite Advertising is our digital platform or the digital company that's helping people get their businesses online with advertising. And today we're going to talk about the follow up process. The reason why I want to talk about this is like when one of the things that I do is I observe what other companies are out there doing, and because I like to learn, I like to constantly learn and see what's working and what's not working, and also I constantly track and see what's working and what's not working with my companies. And let me tell you a story about what happened. We're really several times over the year with different companies. The first one is a local newspaper. We all know that local regular newspapers, not advertising magazines, or advertising magazines are doing great all over because people pick those up for the bargains. But regular newspapers, the subscriptions are down, advertising is down, and it's because people can get their news a lot quicker online. So what they've started doing, at least in my neighborhood, is they're sending kids to door to homes, and they're trying to get people to sign up for the subscription, but they're using this tactic of you sign up for the subscription to help the kid. So they're trying to play on your emotions to help the kid that's either trying to make it through college or to get band instruments or whatever, and in hopes that you would get the subscription. I'm not going to talk about the strategy that they're trying to use, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about how they could improve their process, the follow up process, because to me it's like they're just really spinning their wheels. If people don't sign up, they're just spinning their wheels. And I know just from the post, because I'm in my whole entire neighborhood, there's like this Facebook group where people talk about the different salespeople and things that's going on in our neighborhood. And I could tell you that they're getting, if they went to 100 houses, they're getting probably one or two people to get the daily paper. Another one that was going around was and these guys were very good. It was a guy and a girl with two different companies. One of them was the windows, but the selection in our neighborhood, I don't know why they would pick our neighborhood. Our neighborhood is barely, I think, 13 or 14 years old. Almost all the houses there are new. When you're talking about a 13-year-old house, and some of the houses are less than 10 years or 8 years old, you're going to send a window company there to sell us windows, and our windows are practically new. But they had very good trained salespeople. They knew what they were talking about. They used a strategy, and this was both for the grass and for the windows. They used a strategy where they would, first thing they do, they introduce themselves. They were in their uniform or, dressed properly for what they were selling. And then they would try to mention, like, they would say, five people on this street is taking such and such service, because they're trying to use the angle of they people don't want to be the only one to take a service. They want to be in groups so they don't look like they got food. But so they would open up the conversation. We're in a neighborhood, blah blah blah, for the windows or the grass. We got seven people over here on your street that's doing it. Even one of the guys with the grass mentioned a name, and I didn't even know the person. He just threw out a name and said from over there. And but that's their whole pitch. But their pitches are pitched because a company, no matter what, if a pitch works well or not, if it has some success, a company is going to stick with it. So I'm not here to tell any company not to continue with whatever their pitch is, because that's what they feel comfortable with. What I'm here to talk about is you need to have some sort of process for following up, or you're really just spinning your wheels, and number one, you're going to start losing good quality employees if you don't have some type of system in place that's going to show them that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Because I could just imagine one of the sales reps going door to door, and some people may be slamming the door in their face. Some people straight away. I could tell that they were used to people just closing the door, saying not interested, because they had even a rebuttal to stop you from getting to that point. And my wife thought I was crazy. I was just listening to it. But she thought I was crazy. She was like, "Why didn't you just say not interested, close the door?" And actually, the one guy that came around for the grass service, they had a service that we needed, but because of the way that they were doing it, and because I didn't have time to really talk to them, I didn't sign up for the service. And then I actually asked him for a business card, and he said that they don't get them business cards. And that was, if you watch one of my other videos that I talked about that. Remember way back when, and that someone came up with, if you had a storefront, you had said you were in business, that they made up a business card, and they said that if you didn't have a business card, some people wouldn't think you were in business. I thought it was very unprofessional for him to be out there selling, and they didn't have a business card. It took away a level of trust that he had gained by even telling me about the service. And the thing about it is, we didn't need the grass service. We already had a company for that. But they had talked about the spider webs and putting a barrier around our yard for spiders and for ants, and that caught my attention. And then also one thing with the grass place, they went all the way from charging for the service all the way to just give me a chance, in the first service is on free, because they were just trying to get people in the door. So now let's talk about just off of their strategy. So if you have a company and you're using a door-to-door strategy, let's just go with where you're at, because I know you wouldn't want to change what you're already doing. So we have the door-to-door. So you're having your people go around, they're knocking on doors or selling the service. They're trying to sell the service, trying to get people interested. If you just instituted a couple of things, you would probably see a lot of success with your business. And we always talk about using Facebook. There's other platforms that you can use, but we're going to talk about using that with Facebook. What we're gonna do is we're gonna brainstorm how using Facebook, which we know most people are on Facebook, how this strategy would help work with them, with the way that they're already using their door to door to get people sign up for the service. So they go door to door. Let's just say the neighborhood has 500 homes, and we know they're gonna have the zip codes for that neighborhood. So now let's just brainstorm of some ideas of, and you can write them down on a piece of paper. If you have a notepad, please pull out a notepad. What are some of the ways with this strategy, knowing that almost everyone that you knock on that door is not going to take the service, but you don't want to waste, you want to maximize your people that are out there. You're already paying them unless they're on commission. And even if they're on commission, you want to set it up for them to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, or you're going to be running through good salespeople because they're not making many sales. So looking at this, let's brainstorm how we could have turned this into an opportunity using the power of Facebook. And also, just by minimum, every house that they went to, that they just went ahead and wrote down the address. That would just be one. So they got the address. And let me tell you, this would be the hard way to do it. This would be the absolute hard way to do it. The old style way of doing it. So the sales reps wrote down the address of the home. And then if they got the name, most times they're not going to get the name, but let's just go with the address. And then you just send a follow-up postcard. And the reason why this would work better than what they're already doing is because we already know most people are just not going to buy stuff the first time. If they were to look at what's going on, let me turn off this phone real quick. If they were just to simply uh, take down the address, maybe take a notation of the problem that they saw at the home, like that person, the guy that came to my house for the grass service, he could have saw they don't have a problem with the grass, but they did have the spider webs up in there, and I had even told him that I'm always having to spray those spider webs out. So he could have said, okay, we're gonna send a postcard with the spider web issue, or that one includes the barrier, and then that's how you work your way in. And then once you work your way in, the salesperson that came there, they could say, well, why don't you just go ahead and get the whole service, with the insect protection service, and then go ahead and get the grass service. We'll give you a deal on that, and then that would be a sales process to make money. That would be an instant sales process to start making money. They would start getting results. On the postcard, they could put a little code so they know which sales rep that belongs to, and that would be a good sales process. The company would have to invest some time and money into that. Even the sales rep, when he got back to the office, he or she could be the one to get the postcards ready to send out to those addresses and just mail them out. I guarantee you that if they just followed this process, they would make more money. But now let's make it even easier. Using the power of Facebook, they could go to those 500 homes, and then on Facebook target just that zip code that they went to. So they would run an ad just targeting this zip code, and then they could have several different ads that talked about and the P in here is for problems. They talked about all the different problems that they incurred when they went door to door. See, that's the big thing. They're getting that data. The data going to those houses, the 500 houses, people buy stuff because they have a problem. And sometimes you can make them aware of a problem. Sometimes a problem is not something that has a big importance, on it right away. But if you make them aware of it, and then you follow up with them on that at some point, if they really care, especially if you bought a home, you don't want to have insects and spider webs tearing up your house, or going in your house where one of your children could get bit by a spider or ants or whatever. You want to protect it. So you make ads with all these different problems, and you can specifically run those Facebook ads to the zip code that you just went into. You can say, hi, and you can even put a picture of the salesperson that was in there. Your multiple salespeople, hi, remember me? I was just in the neighborhood, just following up to see if you wanted to take care of any of those problems there that we observed in the neighborhood. You can make it just in general. I like to be specific, so I would pick, you would have one for the grass, you would have one for the insects, you would have one for whatever other services that you're going to provide, just to break it down, to have people focus on that one problem. And then what you do is when you have that, is you would remarket to that audience that clicked the ad. So then you're really drilling down, and the people that clicked would be interested, and then you would know, and then the salesperson would actually have this sales funnel following up from their hard work that they're out there doing. And so at some point, what would happen is that you have all these leads that's constantly flowing down, and then at the end you would start making sales, and so you would constantly keep bringing people in, making sales. Now, to close out this video, this is an excellent follow-up process. I have a similar process for my business, but now if you watch my other video, or you can watch the video that's listed, I believe it says the sales funnel system. You got to watch that video, because if you don't, like I said, if you don't have business assets in place, and what I mean by assets in place is you have a business Facebook page that's active, that's showing that you're communicating with people. You have you don't have to have all the different things like Twitter and uh, what is it, chat, uh, the chat one, the yellow one. You don't have to have all of those, but I would say Snapchat. I'm sorry, uh, and then Instagram. But you need to have at minimum Facebook, where you can go through and also, if I was a business owner, I would say Facebook, and you had to have YouTube, because those are going to be the two that most people are going to look at, and you would be able to start building your business assets on those. And what I mean by that is, if you're gonna have, if you're gonna talk to people about having, for example, for the spiders or the insect problem or the grass, you need to have videos showing examples of what you've done for your customers, and you post those videos on your Facebook business page, and you also post those videos on your YouTube page, because then when people see your ads and they click your page to see if your company is even worth dealing with, they're going to see that you might have 200 or 300 likes if you're new, or if you're like my company, I have over, for one of my businesses, I have over, I think we're getting close to 22,000 followers on Facebook. And so when people see that, they consider this is someone that's been around in business, and other people are liking them. So you please watch my video on the funnel, because if you have all of that in place, it's going to show you even more ways to add to your follow-up process, and it just gives your business more opportunities to make more sales. So if you have any questions and you want to get a consultation with my company, my phone number is listed on the website, or you can drop an email to us, and we be happy to answer any question that you have, because what we want to do is we want to help businesses become successful. Thank you, and until next time.